Okay, we feel fantastic being here. I was a little frustrated with the way we played in the middle of the second half. And the first half, we shot the ball great, make a bunch of threes. In the second half, we're 1 for 7. Sometimes it's fool's goal, but we were sensational shooting the ball in the first half, Joel and Justin and Luke. And what Luke did today, we see a lot in practice. And he's had one game this year, we had 15 rebounds. He's made some threes in the game, but today he even got one to bounce and crawl up from under the rim and go in. That was a big lift for us. Isaiah's in foul trouble. Tony got 2. Tony and Isaiah both had 2, and then Kennedy got his second right before the end of the half. But Butler just keeps coming at you, and I'm thrilled with this group, thrilled what they've accomplished. Was not thrilled for about 6 or 7 minutes in the second half. And yet when they got it to, I looked up when Nate, I think it was, went to the free throw line. That was the first time I looked at the score in the second half, and it was 10. And Nate made the free throws, and we'd still let them score more than we wanted, but we're still up here talking with a smile on our face.
Questions for our student athletes, please. Down here in the front.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal, for Joel and for Justin. When you get the contribution that Luke gives you today, how much more dangerous does that make you guys as you go along?
Yeah, I just think it's different when you have a guy that can step out and shoot threes. Usually you go against teams where their big man set a pick and then they roll to the basket. And Luke gives us a different look with being able to step out to the three. And I think that opens up the lane a little bit for the guards to be able to penetrate, because we want to get the ball in the post by either pass or dribble, or in the lane by pass or dribble. And but when Luke is in there, it spaces out the floor and it gives us a threat on the three-point line.
You want me to go? Yeah, just to echo what Joel said, any screen on the ball, if they hedge too long, that's a wide open three. He just adds different aspects to our game that just helps us. And for him to come out here and play like this, it was huge for us and huge for him, and we need him to keep it going.
Down here on the left in the front.
This question is for Luke, Kira Luke, the Raleigh and Company. Luke, when we first spoke during Media Day earlier this year, you said that you want to help your team by any means necessary and progress and fix what you need to fix to get the team where they need to be. How have you seen your progress this year lead up to this moment today with career high points and rebounds?
I just want to go out there and play the best I can and try to limit the mistakes I make and do what I can to help my team win, because that's the most important thing. And today I got a couple shots to fall in and felt pretty confident, and it kept going, and it gave us the win today, and that's the biggest thing we wanted, and we're moving on to Sunday.
On the aisle on the right here in the middle.
Kate Carlton, South Boston News Record for Justin. You score 8 points in the first 7 minutes of the game. What did you kind of see out of the defense that allowed you to get off that hot of a start?
I saw that they had a smaller defender on me, and my teammates were finding me. They were setting screens, and they were just kind of late off those screens. I think second half they did a lot better job of being there on the catch. But to start the game, I just kind of felt like I was moving freely, and my teammates were finding me, and it was just up to me just to step in and knock in the shots.
On the far right over here.
Devin Walker from NCAA.com. This is for all you guys. Is there any extra motivation this weekend, knowing that last year you were one shot away from winning the national title?
Joel, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I think there's a little motivation. And, we always think about last year, regardless of, the game. We got to where we wanted to get. We just, didn't finish it. But, it's always on our mind. But just regardless of that, we go into each and every game just thinking about that game. And we can't look too far ahead. We got to play the game that we're about to play. And so, it's a little motivation there, but we got to be able to play Sunday to be able to get to where we want to get. So,
we got time for one more for our student athletes right here in the front.
Justin, they had a 9-2 run to cut that 16-point lead midway through the first half. But you guys answered with 12 straight points and kind of got it back again. What was different today compared to some of the other games here in the postseason? You guys have let some big leads get away.
We didn't want to lose. For us, we got by with very little room against Arkansas. And so for us, I mean, we had that lead. We know it's a game of runs, and Butler's a good team. They're going to keep on coming at you. But for us, we tried to stay focused and, stay poised, as Coach would say, and just continue to play. And, I felt like we did that today, and we came out with it.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you. We'll go ahead and dismiss you, and then we will continue on with questions for Coach Williams. In the back, middle, right on the left.
Coach Williams, which one, Terry Davis, Tri-State defender, which team would you match up better against, Kentucky or UCLA?
Oh, it's a good question that I'm not equipped to answer right now because I haven't watched tape on either team, and this is nothing different. In the regular season, I always make sure that I take the tape the day before we play. I've seen bits and pieces of UCLA. Needless to say, we played Kentucky, and they scored 3 more points than we did, and we didn't play very well on the defensive end, and Malik led us up for 47. But I've only seen 3 or 4 different stretches in some of the UCLA games, but that's what tonight and all day tomorrow is for.
We'll go here, front row on the far left.
Roy, Adam Kilgore with the Washington Post. You've played Luke here and there, even going back to last year, he's at a bigger role this year, but how much of that is so he's like prepared for when he does have to play a bigger role like he did tonight?
He's prepared. Last year he sat in my office and told me he's going to work harder than anybody on our team in the offseason. And, we don't give him grades, but he's, what was that Bum Phillips said about Earl Campbell, who's not at the top of the class. It's very small. It doesn't take long to call the roll. Well, that's the way it is with Luke. I mean, he works exceptionally hard. He's a good shooter. He has good savvy. He had one game this year, I think it's Florida State. He had 15 rebounds, so he's been able to help us. And he really does provide a lot of headaches for the starting 5 during practice almost every day. But yet at everything we do, always switch him over so he plays with those guys a little bit as well. But he can shoot the ball. He can rebound the ball. Got to get him to be a little bit better defensively. And one time he shot his little jump hook when he had Kennedy underneath the basket with nobody guarding him, so he's got to see his teammates. But he's got a big role with our team, and I think it'll just get bigger and bigger over his career.
We got 4 more in the queue, starting right over here on the right.
Kate Carlton, South Boston News Record. They kind of threw a zone on you about midway through the second half of play, and you went into a bit of a lull offensively. What did they do to slow you down offensively with that zone?
We didn't move as well as we wanted to move. In the first half, we make all those shots. In the second half, we're 1 for 7 from 3. We got good shots inside. We made some layups. Joel made some. Kennedy made one inside. Seventh Woods made a nice pass to Isaiah, and he got one inside. But what was hurting us was not the offensive end. I mean, we shot 54% for the game, 56 in the second half. What hurt us in the second half is we didn't rebound the daggone basketball on their end. They kept getting multiple opportunities at it. It wasn't our offense that bothered us.
Going on our far left over here, Coach.
Okay. Artie.
Roy Archansky, WCHL. You were around when Mark Maye played quarterback for the Tar Heels, right, in the 80s. So, and then both parents are Carolina kids, and you've recruited some Carolina families in the past, but has there ever been one quite like Luke? I mean, from the moment he opened his eyes, he was probably a Tar Heel fan. Can you go through about the recruiting and is he better than you thought he would be?
No, not at all. He came to our camp 5 or 6 years, and I kept telling Mark, just don't be in a hurry because I think he's going to be good enough. Just don't be in a hurry. And I felt like that, and I was dumb, because we had offered some scholarships to some other people, but I told Luke I wanted him to come. Notre Dame, Clemson, Virginia, Davidson had really made a nice effort in recruiting. But I said, you can really be a good player for us. You can be extremely important to us. And what he's doing right now is I'm serious, guys. We see this every day at practice. I mean, he drills the white team so much and has so much fun with that. But the dumbest thing was that I asked him, I said, don't have your feelings hurt. But I'd like for you to come your first year and pay your own way, and then we'll give you a scholarship the rest of the way because we had some scholarship offers out there that I felt like we needed. And needless to say, we didn't get them. So it was one of the neat phone calls ever. I called Luke one night and said, I want you to go in and ask your mom and dad if you can have just $1,000 to go to the beach and blow it this weekend. And he said, Coach, I don't know if I can do that. And I said, well, tell them that I just called you and gave you a $25,000 scholarship for the next year, so at least they ought to be able to give you $1,000 to blow. But he had some fun with it. But I always thought that Luke was really going to be good. It's just, again, some of the other scholarship offers we had out there were people that I'd promised it to for a couple of years. But I think Luke is, he has the ability to shoot the ball. He has the ability to rebound the ball. But the reason Luke's going to be successful is what he's got in his brain and his heart.
One more over here.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal. Roy, it's been a while since both Justin and Joel have had good offensive games together. How good was it to see those two guys do what they did tonight?
Well, at this stage of the year, if you don't have good offensive games or good defensive games, you go home. But we do need to be clicking a little bit on all cylinders. We got we only had 3 guys in double figures today, but one of them's 26 and the other 24, so that's pretty good. But yes, we do need both of them making shots and doing some things for us.
We actually do have time for one more right here, Coach, if that's okay.
Coach Kiera Luck of Raleigh and Company, how important is it to have Sean Maye on your bench, giving the team that experience from winning a championship and getting them to keep their head focused and win it all?
Well, every now and then I'll ask Sean, I said, do you remember what it felt like at this point? And he'll say, yeah. And I said, do you ever have any more fun? No. So talking to him like that, he's the cheerleader for those guys. And I say, hey, Sean's jersey's up there, but also he's got a banner on the other end that he was really responsible for. So anytime that he's encouraging them or cheering them on, they like that.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.